All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy June 16th. Coming to you alive, coming to you well, coming to you full of energy as always. Just got back from the East Coast. I'll be home tonight. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the office. I'll talk about an in-office training that I'm doing starting tomorrow. But you guys, I just cannot tell you how important it is to be able to lean into this beautiful community that we have at EXP at large, right? There's so many amazing people from coast to coast, different communities, different groups, different support systems, different people that are scaling businesses just like you. And so I want to encourage you guys to lean in, whether you guys are going to events, whether you're attending the masterminds through Fast Forward Movement on Monday, whether you're starting your own groups, you're in Facebook, just lean into this community. I've met some of the most amazing people in life and business over the course of the last 5 years. And these people have truly become my friends, just like you. And so I want to encourage you guys to really dive into the community. There's so many beautiful things happening in this organization. So get involved. Show up, raise your hand, ask to speak at certain events. Just get yourself in these rooms and start building these relationships. And I promise you guys, it will have an impact in your life, business, health, and relationships. So I'm going to go over to Blessing. Blessing, it's good to see you here with the cameras on. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful, amazing, glorious Monday morning. So go ahead, hit us with it.
Well, it is a beautiful morning. Happy Monday. And man, I think the sentiment I want to encourage and have everyone hold on to is, just calm yourself. See the facts for what they are. Don't let the stories and everything else going on around you cloud the fact that you are the right person for the job in front of you. Whether it's you being a parent, whether it's you being the best friend, whether it's you being the best realtor for that client, you are the best person for the situation that you are in. No questions, hands down, go for it. When you move with that level of confidence and gratitude, everything shifts. And it is a beautiful, beautiful feeling when you can see yourself wholly, completely with everything you bring to the table and everything falls into place for your benefit. So show up just as you are and know that you are here to win. That's what I got for you guys.
I absolutely love it. And Blessing, I've been enjoying our conversations lately and just, I could hear it. I could feel it. I'm experiencing it. And so it's really, really cool to see what you're doing, how you're achieving. And I think it's most important for me. What's most important for me is the way that you're thinking. Right, that the way you are approaching this beautiful thing that we call life and dealing with the troubles that come along the way, and knowing, yesterday was probably a hard day for you, right? It was Father's Day, and I'm sure it was a hard day for you. And so, just the fact, the way that you're showing up and how you're maintaining this, it's really, really powerful to experience. So much love to you, appreciate you, and thanks for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you and this whole group. I've missed being cameras on, and I'm going to be more intentional about being cameras on and actually being present in what's happening right now. So,
all right. Well, welcome to the Gun Show featuring Otis White. If you didn't know, let me grab my coffee really quick. It's over on this side. Oh, there's my muscle milk. It's on this side. We see you, big dog. Keep doing your thing, my man. We appreciate you. All right, guys, let's get right into this. First and foremost, I want to talk to you about a couple things I prepared, and I want to share this thought and this sentiment with you guys. But before we do so, I want 3 people to share some wins from last week. It's 1 professional win, 1 personal win. We're going to run through this pretty fast, so I need 3 people to get in the queue and share a professional and a personal win. And for all the fellas on the call today, shout out to you. Happy Father's Day. Hopefully you guys had an amazing day doing whatever it is that you did yesterday. Hopefully it was an exciting day for you to spend with your kids, enjoy yourselves, and just know that you're the ones that hold the family together. So I need a personal win, professional win. Glenn Riggs is going to start this thing off, and go ahead and throw your hand up. Let's get in the queue. Let's roll, Glenn.
So professional win, I got my client, we had to cancel a contract for a buyer last week, and I got her back into contract within 1 day, and actually closing earlier than the first one. So she was in tears when we had to cancel, but we rebounded quickly. So that's a great professional win.
So talk us through that. So it canceled. So what was the very first thing that you did? How did you keep her in the mix? How did you console her? Talk to us through that process.
Yeah, so I went and told her face to face, right? This was not a text or a phone call. I actually met her. I said, "Hey, can I swing by your work?" She's like, "Yep, stop by." So I stopped by and I told her, I go, "Look, the bank needs an extra month. I don't want you sleeping on your friend's couch for another month. I know that you're anxious to get into a home. What would you say if we cancel this transaction?" She goes, "Well, I can't be out my money." I said, "All right, well, I'll work as hard as I can to get that money back to you, your deposit back. I'm pretty sure we can do it." So I called the agent, I negotiated, I made sure that we were going to get her money back. And I said, "Look, there's another home in that same complex. It's vacant. Let's go take a look at it tonight." We went, we took a look at it. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I love it." We stepped outside. There were two hummingbirds flying around. She's like, "Oh, this is all a sign." And how quickly she went from, that sad, depressed, "I'm losing this house," to that optimistic fun and excitement all over again. And she goes, "I want this house. Can you get me my money back?" So I was prepared to play hardball, and we had everything available. I jumped into the broker room. Like, I did all of my work on my side to make sure like my job is to protect my client and their funds, right? And their homes. So I jumped into the broker room. I was armed and ready, and I didn't have to play hardball, right? I've had a great relationship with that agent from the beginning. We were able to just work it out, mutual cancellation, return of the deposit. Like, it all happened. And called the agent on the new home, who I happen to know from the marketing circles that I run in, and she's like, "I'd love to do business with you. Put together a good offer and we'll do it." And so one offer done, signed, in contract in 24 hours after canceling. So
Let's go. I absolutely love this. And then talk to me about a personal win.
yeah, so personal win is that yesterday was Father's Day, and I lost my father 15 years ago to cancer. He was my best friend in the whole wide world, and 14 years ago adopted our son. So there was one year that I went without that love and light in my life, and so I had my grandmother. I made dinner for Father's Day, had my grandmother over. We sat and played cards or dice at the table as a family. And I worked yesterday too, but able to just pull it all together and bring family together is so important in my life. And the fact that I was able to do that and just thoroughly enjoy my Father's Day, and I got to do all the work, I didn't give a shit.
Ah, God, I absolutely love this, my man. And I love that you're creating this. And I'm sure your father would be beyond proud of you. So I appreciate you sharing, Big Dog. Let's get one more personal win and a professional win. And whoever is that is, please make sure to mute yourself. I don't know where that's coming from. And Samandi, Stavo, Jessica, Maori, JJ, Chris and Tia, Nicholas Snow. If you guys have the ability to be here, be in this moment with cameras on, let's do it. Brandy, what do you got for us?
Okay, I got a personal one that I'm really so excited to share.
Cool.
I ran a 5K on Saturday. So,
Let's go.
and that was big and huge for me. I did one years and years and years ago. I ran one, but since everything that I've been through and my new, like, kind of more of a health journey, I've had heart problems. And my dad was like, when I told him on Friday, he was like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, just so I called him on Saturday after the run. I was like, "Hey, Dad, I'm still alive. My heart's beating." And he was like, "I cannot believe you." So it was just a huge thing. Like, I cried the last lap, like, just so proud of, like, feeling your heartbeat, filling your lungs with air. And, like, the whole time I'm like, all right, we're not walking. Like, I don't have, because of, like, health stuff in my lungs and stuff, I don't have that, like, endurance to keep going. But I was like, no, no, just stay busy. I almost ran a 10K because it was a 5K and 10K. And I was just following the people in front of me, not knowing they were running the 10K. And the lady stops me and she goes, "Wait, are you 10 or 5?" And I was like, "5." She goes, "Honey, you're done. Just walk through there." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank God." Because I didn't know how much more I could go. I don't know, I probably could have done the 10K, but it was just super exciting. I was so proud of myself, so proud of my body. So
Oh, let's go. I absolutely love this. And if you guys know Brandy, she's beat cancer twice, been through tons and tons of stuff in her life and out there running almost 10K. So well done. I appreciate you sharing. On to you. What do you got for us? One win, personal and professional. Let's roll.
I've got a professional win with, so the area that I have been farming in Newark. I had an open house yesterday and a neighbor came to actually look to buy. And, I was just conversing with him and asked him, like, has he seen my flyers around when I door knock? He's like, yeah, I recognize you. So that was a really big win for me because that means that, there's more than one family that loves me in the area and that recognize me. And
Let's
then a
go.
personal win is just I've been able to like see friends and family. So that carved out some time to that for that, and that has been really great. And I have enjoyed that a lot.
I love it. I love it. You guys, I really, really appreciate you sharing. I'm going to share something with you guys. I don't know if you saw my stories over the last couple of days, but I was able to go take a hike around this spot right here, you guys. And I want you guys to just take a look at this place. It's called the Mohonk, and it's up in upstate New York. And you guys, this place was absolutely magical. We did this crazy hike called the Lemon Squeeze, and you had to go through this crazy, crazy crevasses to get all the way to the top. And mind you, I haven't done a hike since my injury. And to be able to like go through this crazy, crazy hike, it puts so much of life in a perspective, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. And so I just had a moment of just true reflection, and I'm out there with people that do these crazy marathons, and then they do these triathlons, and like, oh, swim for 2 miles, then bike for X amount of miles, then run for X amount of miles, then go back in the water and swim half a mile. I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. But I just had a moment being up there on that mountaintop and climbing through the crevasses. There was a couple times where it was like pretty scary because you're having to like squeeze your body through, like hold on to these finger holds and pull yourself up. But I'll tell you what, get yourself out in nature, do hard things, embrace the hard things, and so much comes from that. So you guys, I got a couple things I want to share with you. You may want to get a pen, and you may want to get a piece of paper, and or go to your notes section and make sure that you have somewhere to keep some notes. And so on a piece of paper, if you are writing, I want you to write this date, and this date is September 1st. Okay, just write that date somewhere. Look at Brandy being a mom. She was in mom mode right there. She's like, you better. One of those. Okay, we saw you. We know what it's like. We know what it's like. So what I want you to do is I want you to write on a piece of paper September 1st. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through this. If you've done business planning with us in the past, I want to take you through a quick exercise to really help you look at the next few months. I've been calling this time Savage Season, the pillars of pressure, all the things that we've been speaking about since the first of this month. This is our opportunity to really look at our business in a very, very short time frame, in a sprint, to say, what am I going to make in money from now till September 1st? It is June, July, August, and then September 1st comes and we enter our fall season. So I'm going to pull something up for you guys. And if you've done this with me in the past, cool. It's been a minute. So I wanted to talk about this again. How many of you remember when we did our VTO, our Vision Traction Organizer? Please raise your hand if you remember this exercise. Okay, cool. So here's what I want you to do. Everybody on the call, right now is going to write a future date, and that future date is going to be September 1st. We're going to keep this very, very simple. Your revenue on September 1st is going to be X amount. What I mean by that, and I'll stop sharing this and I'll come back to this in a second. Let's go. When I talk about revenue, Glenn, what is revenue in our world?
GCI.
Correct. All right. So give me what your revenue target is from now until September 1st.
From today to September 1st?
Correct.
I'm going to spitball a number of 150,000.
150,000 in GCI.
Yes.
All right, cool. So just share, let's stay with me here. So Glenn, can you see my my calculator later?
Yep.
All right, so if Glenn is saying he wants to do 150,000 in GCI, okay, that's his top line revenue. Without knowing the numbers, Gary, what does that mean that he has to do in volume, real estate volume, meaning the houses that he sold completely added up. What does he need to do in order to have $150,000 in revenue? Gary, and listen, man, if you don't have the answer, it's all good, bro. That's why we do this. Let's roll, Gary. Gary, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm using my phone that has my calculator on it, but I know that's 150,000 is gonna be. Are we doing 2.5 or 3%? So if that's 3%, right? 150 times 0.3.
I see what you're doing. Your numbers will be wrong, but what did you get?
Well, show me how to do it. Give me the formula. Don't blame me.
All right,
Don't
cool.
blame me in front of everyone.
No, I'm not. I'm teaching in front of everybody because we got to
I'm trying to learn in
understand
front of
this.
everyone too. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hey, and I appreciate you. So if Glenn says he's going to do $150 in revenue, this isn't profit, you guys. This is top line revenue. If he gave me that number, which I don't know anything past that, nor does Gary. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that and divide it by 2.5% to give us the total amount of volume that he needs to have from now until September 1st. So Gary, did you see how I did that?
I did. That's 6
All right,
million.
cool. Correct. So in the Bay Area, let's say East Bay, let's say Oakland market, Gary, on an average, what's the average sales price?
Probably about 800, 852, something close like.
Yeah, let's be even more conservative. Let's say 750. So from now until September 1st, Glenn has to sell 8 homes. Glenn, do you feel confident in yourself, in your ability, in your skill, and in your pipeline that you could do that?
Yes.
All right. So let's just stop this for a quick second. So I'm going to go back to this VTO. Okay. So his future date here on the top was September 1st. Your date is going to be the same. On your revenue, just like we did with Glenn, his revenue was $150,000 in GCI, which total means that he needs to sell $6 million worth of real estate volume from now until September 1st. And if you take that $6 million divided by your average sales price in your market of 750 or whatever market you're in, that means that he has to do an average of 6 deals or 8 deals? Sorry.
8.
8 deals from now till September 1st. Now, from there, everyone is at a different level in regards to their split. So that $150,000 that Glenn needs to make from his revenue, you have to determine what your profit's going to be. Say you're in Brianna's situation. She just graduated out of her advisorship. So I know she's at a 75-25. So what she would do is she would take that 150,000 and she would less her split, which is 25%, giving her what her profit will be in September or as September 1 comes here. Let me pause for a second. Does this make sense, you guys? Take yourself off of mute because I'm sharing my screen so I can't see everybody.
It does.
Yes,
Yes,
it makes
yes,
sense.
sir.
Can I
Okay, cool.
make sure I'm doing
Yes, sir.
Let me pause for a quick second. I want to make sure because these are your numbers, you guys. I want you guys to be so clear. They said, I can fucking handle this from now until September 1st. This is Savage season. Let's go, H-Bomb. What do you got for us?
No, I want to make sure I did it right. My numbers were coming out weird. You said our GCI divided by 2.5%.
So if you have your GCI number, first off, so there's a few ways to skin this, and I want to make sure that we're doing this exercise because it's really, really important. So let me bring up my calculator again. Walk me through your numbers, and I want to make sure I'm clear on what your numbers are. And just tell me what your numbers are that you've come up with.
Okay, and we're talking about next year, December.
No, hold on, Heather. Let's go back to the original conversation. I'm saying from now till September 1st, what type of money do you want to make? That means that all of your efforts in the summertime, all the hustle, all the grind, all the appointments, I'm talking from now till September 1st, short. I'm not talking about a year from now. I want you to have fucking immediate results.
Okay, well, all right. I wrote down 80,000.
Okay, so are we talking 80,000 in revenue?
GCI.
Okay, so that is revenue. In our world, revenue and GCI, same exact thing. So if Heather wants to do $80,000 in revenue, that's pre-profit, what does she need to have in regards to volume sold to hit 80,000? That's a quiz for everybody on this call right now. I have the answer. I want to make sure you guys have it.
Yeah, I'm just
3.2 mil.
Say again. Say that again.
3.2 mil.
3.2 mil.
oh, I better lower that number, but I'm gonna try.
Wait, hold on a second. If you divide that by your average price point of 450,000 in your market, that's 7 deals from now until September 1st.
That's it. All right.
But hold on, you guys. I want to make sure, and then I'm going to share my screen really quick. Let me pull up my calculator here. You guys, I'm glad that we're doing this because the next few months are going to really, really matter. All right, Heather.
Yes.
Stay with me here. Okay. Can you see my screen?
I can. I got confused because I'm using my phone calculator too.
Okay, listen, the phone calculator is the same as any other calculator. Let me just show you the formula because it's really important that we do this together. So I want to look at your face while I'm doing this. I don't see you. One more screen. Okay. Oh, there you are. I saw your eyes. So Heather, you said you wanted to do $80,000 in GCI, which is your top line revenue. Okay. That's your revenue. So you threw out that number, but none of us knew exactly what that volume meant. So you have to take that and divide it by 2.5% to give you the total amount of volume, which is 3.2.
That was the number that threw me off. I think I did get that, but I was like, wait, am I doing this calculation right? Okay, I got it.
And let's say that you're doing $80,000 in GCI and you need a minus, let's say 25%.
Happy birthday, birthday girl.
On two.
Sorry, hold
yourself.
on. I have to get off the phone, Steffi.
No, just mute yourself.
Yeah. Oh.
So take your split from that 80,000. That's how you will derive on what is your profit from now until September 1st. All I want for everybody is to be clear on this future date, on their revenue, and then on their profit. Does that make sense, you guys?
Makes sense now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And now let's go a little bit further on this. Glenn, what are the things from now until September 1st that you would call your measurables? Things that you could track to know that you're getting closer and closer to that revenue and profit target. What are the measurables for you?
It would be the number of leads that I'm calling every single day. It would be the number of people I'm connecting with in person, the number of people I'm adding to my SOI, how many Zillow Flex calls am I taking? How many doors am I knocking on?
All of that. So you're so right. So how many calls are you having? How many conversations are you having? And then how many appointments are you actually setting? And then are you actually meeting these people? And how many people are you putting into your database? Because if you're not doing that, you're not going to hit your profit. You're not going to hit your revenue. So you have to look at the measurables. And the only way that you're going to know if you're getting closer is by tracking your shit from now until September 1st. What I want for you guys is I want Glenn to make $150,000 in revenue from now until September 1st, because I know that's going to set him up to have some sense of relaxation, not in overall, but to be able to say, I can take a breath and now I can be prepared for a winter season. So stay with me on this conversation, Glenn. Let's talk about your rocks. Now, you guys, your rocks. And if you're new to this type of conversation, I'm really, really glad, because I need you to look at your rocks as an immovable in your business. Oftentimes, we're spending so much time, focus, and energy on things that are not the rock. The rock supports the business. The rock is the immovable. The rock is the operational efficiency that supports the big picture of Glenn making $150,000 in revenue from now until September 1st. So Glenn, let's talk about your rocks. Heather, you'll be up next. When you look at the big picture of your business, Glenn, what are rocks, meaning things that need to be in place in order for you to hit that target of $150,000 in revenue from now till September 1st. Let's roll.
So you mean like the actions that I take that are not
Okay.
negotiable?
Correct. That's one. So the non-negotiables, that's a rock. Tell me about a non-negotiable that could be your schedule, that could be your time, whatever. Talk to us about that.
So I 5 conversations a day. So that happens. 5 conversations 5 times a week is what it is. So I'll say I work 5 days a week. I add at least 2 new people to my SOI, all in name, phone number, address, email address. 2 of those a week, all in. So those are like my 2 biggest rocks that I have, and then I do an event quarterly. So what is that event every single quarter? So it could be movie night, it could be ice cream truck. So those are my big rocks.
Okay. And I believe that there's some type of schedule involved. You have this on your calendar, you know how you're spending your time.
Yep.
Because let's go back to his exercise, Stavo. How many conversations is Glenn having every single month?
If he's doing 5 every day for 30 or
Only
100
5 days a week. 5 days a week.
Oh, 5 days a week, he's having 25 conversations.
Yep. So for the next 3 months, from now till September 1st, if we're just saying, 3 months, on an average, how many conversations is he going to have?
On an average, throughout the whole month.
Total from now till September 1st.
So for 30 days, if he's following that same thing, he will do 25. He will do about 100 conversations each month. So 300 conversations in total for 3 months.
Totally. So he'll be, since we're at the 15th or 16th, so he'll do about 250 conversations from now until the end of, or till September 21st. So if we take 250, so he's right on pace, because here's what I did. I took his 250 and I divided it by 60, because it takes about 60 conversations to have one contract. He's already, based on that, he's at 4 deals. Remember, he's got to hit 8 deals from now until September 1st. Well, with him adding in the SOIs, him doing his social media, him reaching out in his community, like, he's already got a really good plan. So go back to the rock. The rock for him is making sure that it's calendared, that he's having those conversations every single day. And the rock also is his SOI. Good stuff, Glenn. What else is a rock for you in your business? That is an operational efficiency that supports the big picture.
My partnership with my marketing team. So I have a marketing team that helps me to get to having some of those conversations. It includes direct mail, email campaigns. They take care of social media posts for me. So it allows me, without that, I don't have the time to make those calls.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that. And for the people that aren't aware of the back end, what does that type of campaign look like? What does that marketing person do for you? Let's just say for this week, what's a normal week for them?
So they have, I've got a couple deals closing this week, so they'll push out all of my social media for those just closed. They are pushing out social media for my upcoming listings. They take care of getting my reviews, and they are relentless about getting reviews from my past clients. And they ensure that happens along with a snail mail campaign that they take care of.
Yeah, you guys, I absolutely love this. So Glenn is very, very clear on his rocks. Now, one of the rocks for him was his marketing department. Now, who owns that? In that case, he and the marketing person owns that. So it's not all on Glenn. So you guys have to look. I'll give you another example. Maybe Gary has an operational efficiency of making sure that his database, his CRM, is running effectively. So Gary's going to spend an hour a day understanding the database, making sure it runs effectively. Every time he has a lead that goes through a certain system, right? Every time he meets an open house at a lead at an open house, it goes through a proper system, right? No lead goes unturned, no lead goes unmanaged, no lead leaves unorganized. And so what Gary has done, he's created an operational efficiency, which is a rock, an immovable that supports the big picture, that The big picture is him going out there and talking to people and capturing the leads. Well, you need something that's going to support it, and that's a rock, right? That is a rock. Here's another rock. Making sure our calendars are set up to make sure we're doing income producing activities, right? That's a fucking rock. There should be, if you're on this call right now and you've been coming to coaching and you still don't have a calendar, you still don't know how you're spending your time every single day, then I've let you down. I've let you down. You're running a business here. This is a multi-million-dollar business. Stop playing with your money. You got to sit down and make sure that you have a rock that knows exactly how you're going to spend your time, effort, and energy every single week. Every week. That is an operational efficiency. That is a rock. Make sense, everybody? So the homework. Before I go any further, does anybody have any? Gustavo, I saw you reach it, bro. Give me your thoughts and contribution.
I was gonna say, do you mind sharing that VTO? I was trying to get access to it through Agently, and for some reason I've been having trouble logging back in.
Okay, so let's do this. Save. Yes. Let me see if I can just throw it in the chat. And I'm sorry, I thought you totally had this. File, your computer, VTO, boom. Let me know if you have it. It's in the chat.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
All right, cool. So you guys, let's pause for a quick second. I want to make sure there's clarity. The future date is September 1st. The revenue is what you're going to make for top line GCI from now until September 1st. The third part of it, from that revenue, what are you actually going to take home? That is your net. That is your net operating income. That is the small number on your big paycheck from corporate America. From there, what are the measurables, right? The phone calls, the conversations, the appointments set, appointments met, listings in contract, buyers in contract. You can measure all that shit. Easy. And then from there, what are the rocks that support the big picture of my business? Okay, so let's pause for a second because I want to make sure that from now till September 1st, you guys fucking crush it, right? I want you guys printing paper because of all the efforts that you did in the summertime. The weather was good, the sun is shining, you got ability to go take walks and run and exercise and sweat and be outside and meet people and go to festivals and go to events and set up tables, right? You guys, this is the time. This is the time right now. So what I want us to do is I want us to run a sprint. And the sprint is from now till September 1st. But if you don't have clarity, then like anything in business, you're not going to have a proper pathway. And all I want for you guys is to have that pathway and know, shit, all right, this is what I get to do every single day. So let's pause for a quick second. I want to get some thoughts, get some contributions, some insights, and I'm going to come back to Gary. Gary, let's get some feedback from you, big dog. I want to hear from you, then I'll go over to Jessica. I'll go to Brianna. I'll go back to H-Bomb. Let's go, Gary.
I mean, one, I want to thank you for not just the constant motivation and inspiration, but the structure and how to align the energy to where it makes sense. You know, electricity without a wire to move it place to place is really harmful. But you, little by little, you're helping me grab my energy and focus and change my strategy. You know, I'm used to a lot of different strategies that I do all the time, and it's taken a little longer than I thought to learn these new systems in a way that become like I'm learning them, but to be fluid, right? So thank God you keep hounding, because it's about systems, it's about showing up, it's about accountability, all these sort of fun things. And earlier we were talking about wins and losses and stuff. I don't have no contracts yet, but I just want people to know that before the week's over, I have 3 buyers and 2 sellers that I'm grabbing 2 listings, 1 in Concord. I'm getting my listing by Lake Merritt in Oakland, and 3 people buying houses $1 million plus. And I'm locking that in. I could have locked a couple of these in last week, but it's weird. It's like stage fright, if that makes sense. I'm like, oh shoot, wait, like even though like I've already closed the deals and they're like, oh, I'll come by, but now it's like I don't think like this week I got to focus on learning the paperwork so I know it better, more fluently, because in music at least I'm able to explain something real complicated simple and Right now, it's still gonna sound complicated when I explain it, but I'm working on it. Thank you, guys.
Let's go, Gary. Listen, man, I appreciate that. And hey, that is our responsibility, right? First and foremost, we get taught, how do we go out and hunt? I just need to get I need something to eat. Well, now that you've hunted, you have to understand the next part of it. And for us in this context, we got to understand the paperwork, walking them through the listing agreement, all the terms, signed here. So man, I'm so happy for you. I love this. I love the progress. I don't know who I was going to call on next with Brianna or Jessica, but Brianna, thoughts, insights, takeaways? Maybe I mixed that up, but let's go, Bri.
Thoughts? Sorry, lost my voice again.
Is it a kid's outing?
I don't know. I don't know where it went.
All right, continue cruising. Sorry.
Repeating myself multiple times a day with the 6-year-old. But first, Gary, I want to say, I 110% feel you. It's straight stage fright. Grab one of your partners, have them sit next to you and make those calls, go to those appointments, borrow the confidence until it's your own, and you'll be amazing. You got this.
Wait, did Hector just walk by?
Yeah, that was my husband.
Well, you tell him we said hello, okay? We don't see enough of him. You tell him Happy Father's Day.
He's smiling and hiding in the background.
All right,
Yeah,
continue on. Sorry.
He's definitely not a be on Zoom person. My takeaways are, if you did not go to our business planning in the beginning of the year, make sure next year you don't make that mistake, because had you went to business planning, this would be easy. When I did it, I'm like, goal still, straight vision. I got 8 more to do, and my vision's been clear this year because I went to business planning. I wrote it down. I have it at my desk. I know what my goal is, and I'm not going to stop. May I achieve it? I might not, but I will be able to say at the end of the year, I fucking tried. I gave my whole heart, and I think I'm going to be able to do it. So that's my takeaway. Keep getting it. Keep going it.
We know that you could do it.
I am. And I need all the good juju vibes. My first Zillow contract is out, waiting for the owner to take our offer. So, come on, Zillow.
This is so exciting to me because we knew that this was going to make a huge impact in your guys' life, bringing Zillow to the Central Valley. So really excited. I want to share this with you. Imagine this. If you did 2 hours a day, dialed in, focused on the most important activity, and that is your lead generation, and you did 2 hours, now that becomes 10 hours per week. Okay, so it's just 10 hours per week. Now 10 hours becomes 40 hours per month. 40 hours a month becomes 480 hours per year. Now take what your competition does. They do on an average of 1 hour per week in this business. That's a 1 hour per week, 4 hours per month, 48 hours per year. Do you think the agent that spends 432 more hours than in the field on the most important activities will outproduce the rest? Of course they will. But what we tend to do is we tend to not do the most important thing in this business, lead generation. Listen, I talk to people from coast to coast and everywhere in between. That is the one thing that we miss on, knowing it's the most important. So just imagine if you had concerted effort every fucking day, no matter what, 2 hours a day. Now, mind you, if you are in contract, if you're juggling multiple things, if you're putting out multiple fires, then I understand. However, if you don't, then that's your opportunity to say, you know what, I'm just going to lead gen. I promise you right now, in our own database, there's people that have looked at a home in the last 24 hours and our communication is greater than 48 hours. I promise you right now, there is hundreds of people that fall into that bucket. Jessica, what do you got for us? Good to see your face.
Good morning. So lately I have been feeling burnt out, and this conversation that we're having right now just motivated me because I have a goal, and my goal is to get a higher split after that conversation that we had. So that's my main focus right now. I just have a spreadsheet of all of my deals, the ones that I have sold, the ones that are in contract, and people that it sounds promising that I may be working with them within the next few months. And so far it looks good. Like I will hit that goal by this year. But just trying to stay positive every single day because I have been feeling tired and burnt out. So yeah, I mean,
All right.
just
So
riding the
Jessica,
wave.
I love this for you, but let me ask you a few questions just so I could better understand the situation.
Mhm,
I know that you've been back in the gym, right? So I see you in the sauna
mhm.
and posting. Last week, how many days did you work out?
I only worked out twice last week.
All right, twice last week. How
Mhm.
many hours of sleep are you getting every single night?
Um, Probably like 7.
Good. Are you eating healthy?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
good. How much time are you spending in stillness, reading, thinking, reflecting?
Not too much time.
Yeah. All right. So there's things that in our life when we feel burnt out, then something is off and something is misaligned.
Yeah.
And you guys, I've been at this grind now for, let's just talk with Fast Real Estate and our journey. I've been here now for 5 years. And not once have I ever felt burnout. And I say that straight from the heart, you guys, as real as I could possibly be. I've never felt, and you guys see me, I grind, right? But I never want the grind to come at the sacrifice of my own mental, right? Of my own physical, of my own spiritual. It should never come at the expense. And what happens is that we go, we grind, grind. I come last. I haven't sat in stillness. I haven't done things that fill my soul. I haven't read. I haven't put on music. I haven't just sat with myself and reflected. And what happens is that all this pressure of the world's coming at me and I'm allowing it until I finally say, fuck, I need to just go to bed for a few days. Right?
Mhm.
So our growth, your growth, Stavo's growth, Antu's growth, Laura's growth should never come at the sacrifice of self. And so when we can truly, truly get aligned with saying, I am number one in all of this, then what will happen is that you won't get burnt out. But like you said, there's been some times where I probably just haven't reflected and sat and just, I don't meditate. And there's people on here that meditate, but like I sit in stillness. I sit in
Mhm.
stillness. I reflect. I have time to myself, and it's not being selfish. It is making sure that I come first. And so, Jessica, I'm glad that you're on pace to hit your targets, but it will not be at the sacrifice of you.
Mhm.
The last thing I want you to do is like, fuck, I'm stressed. I'm burnt out. I need to sleep. I hit a wall. It happens all the time. And the reason why that happens is because you put yourself second, third, last, whatever, and you did not come first. And so spend that time doing what really lights up your soul. I remember when you and Hugo went to a concert a few months back. It was like a throwback
Uh-huh.
concert. And like you were like singing and like you guys were dancing. Like that is what I want for you. I want more of that, singing and dancing and
Yeah.
expressing and loving. And so I'm always here for you, Jessica, if you need anything. But when you unpack, when we feel like we're having burnout, that means that we're misaligned. And most of the time, it's because of us. We sacrifice ourselves at the expense to build an empire, and it's not okay. It's not okay.
Mhm.
So, Jessica, I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much for that.
Thanks for being here. H-Bomb, let's go back over to you. H-Bomb, I'd tell you what, I love how you dress because you express the youth. Let's go, Heather.
Yes, it's very cozy. All right, are you ready? I was writing
Ready.
down because I have my things that I'm doing. I'm going for it. And I to achieve my goal, I have my door knocking 50 a week. I try to knock, I try to physically talk to people. If I'm limited on time, I will door hang. I'm going to keep that up. That's really um not saying that anything's came from it thus far, but I know it's going to pop off. I've gotten 14 calls to my SOI weekly, which is 2 a day. I know that seems small, but if you know me, I get on the phone and I'm on the phone for a while when I call my SOI. I've got my 5 DMs a day. That's actually been great. I've reconnected with a lot of people, and I just wrote an offer yesterday. for people that I've been keeping in contact with. So, and then I have a buyer presentation actually they're just kind of testing the waters, but of course they came to me first. So networking and community, when I first came into fast team fast, one of those things is I was burnt out on networking and being social, which was always part of my personality, and it was just something I was just over. But now I've been getting out there and doing it, and now, like I said the other day, it's just becoming my new normal again, and it's feeling good, and I'm feeling good, and it's just really feeding my fire. And then growing my SOI, and actually putting people into my database, like not just, programming them in my phone, like putting them. And part of that
Hold on, Heather. So I'm going to pause you for a quick second because the rock, and I'm just going to take this part of the conversation. Sorry, let me erase that. So your rock is making sure that your CRM is running effectively and efficiently, that you have a system of flow for every single lead that you get. I love that you're conscious of that. That is the rock from now until September 1st. That's one of the rocks. So I just want to pause there for a second, but continue on.
Yeah. And I, when I first saw Glenn, I said, this guy's fucking awesome. He's killing it. So at the first graduation for Intensity, I talked to him about his marketing team, and I'm currently utilizing and doing onboarding with that marketing team. So I can be, consistent even when I'm busy with my marketing. So that's something I'm currently doing. I'm in the onboarding phase right now. And I think the biggest thing for me, which was a struggle, was keeping consistent and keeping a schedule. So that is my biggest thing, is just making sure it's on my schedule. If it's on my schedule, it comes up on my Google Calendar. I get an alert, I do it. And just, I can get a squirrel moment like that. I mean, I can just have a plan for the day and squirrel out. So my Google Calendar has been an absolute godsend, because I'm just like, no calendar, Heather, no calendar, and so that's, I think, going to be the biggest thing for me achieving that goal, is keeping consistent, keeping the schedule, also keeping positive and thankfulness top of mind. And
I'm going to pause you there for a second. What I want you to do is I want you to print out that VTO, and I want you just to focus on that second page, and I want you to write out your rocks. Your rocks are, and you're saying the best things here, your calendar. That's one of the rocks that we need to stick to, because how am I going to have the revenue and make the profit if I'm not even sticking to a calendar? Because if I stick to the calendar, then I could hit my measurables. And so that is an immovable. Your calendar is an immovable. You're focusing on yourself, your temple, your exercise, you're working out. That is an immovable. That's a rock. Because how can you have the vitality to go and serve at the highest level, and you're not even taking care of yourself, and you're burnt out and you're tired and you're eating like shit and you're in the car and you're just eating on the run and you missed a workout 4 days, 5 days, 2 weeks. Fuck, you can't even remember the last time you worked out. Right? Like, these are rocks, because that supports the big picture. So Heather, really, really appreciate you sharing and going deep with us. And so I'm going to pause here for a second, you guys. I want everybody to take that section of VTO. The reason why we need to do this is because this is a short sprint till September 1st. All I want is for you guys to be able to make the money right now that walks you into the fall season, so you have a sense of, you know what, I could just take a breath. Listen, you guys, you know what I think about right now? I think about Christmas. And the reason why I think about Christmas is that, how many of you have kids? Please raise your hand if you have kids. Like, all I want is for you to, if you celebrate, to be able to spend that time with them, to be able to buy them something. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, like, the gifts, but being able to create an experience with them, that matters. They're going to always remember that. Like, that's how I look at this. I want you guys be able to not sleep on your talents, your God gift, your abilities right now. Turn it up, turn everything up, and say, all right, I got a clear head. I'm going to make X amount of revenue. My profit's going to be this amount. I'm going to track these measurables, and these are the rocks that support the big picture. And I'm going to go out there and divide and conquer. We don't do this by chance, you guys. Everything has a system, and you're the ones that create the system. You see, the systems run the business, which is the rock and operational efficiency, but who runs the system? You. You're the one responsible for creating that system. So take bold action, move forward, put these things into your business. I saw Mary's hand go up and then it went down. Mary, do you have a contribution? And listen, I'm going to ask you if you're going to contribute, throw your camera on. I don't care what you look like. Mary going once, Mary going twice. All right, we're going to move on. Unless she comes back on. All right, cool. So you guys, print out the VTO. Get very, very clear on it. We also, I want to share this with you in Stockton. I'll be putting some things on the calendar for Central Valley as well. However, for this week, tomorrow, we have database days. And I don't know why this is not showing up. All right, so tomorrow, the 17th, is database days. If you're on this call right now, I don't care who you are, top agent, just starting out, everywhere in between. What I want to do is I want to bring everyone together for database days tomorrow. Database days, it's on the team calendar. Feel free to bring a guest. What this is going to allow you to do is to really look at your database and say, what's working for me? How am I dispositioning my leads? Am I moving my leads to the funnel? Also looking in the team database and finding the opportunities for you to close business based on what's in the database. And so if you're having struggles with your database, maybe you don't really understand Real Scout, maybe you want to find some tweaks and some opportunities within the database. All I'm asking you to do is show up at HQ tomorrow. I'm going to be there from 12 to 2 o'clock. Database, we'll have some fun. As always, I'll give you some scripts, what to say, what to text, the videos to send, and I'll make sure that we make the best out of our time. All you have to do is just get your ass in the room. So that's on the calendar. We have tons and tons of training that is on the calendar for the next 8 weeks. This is called the Summer Series. So if you want training, if you want game, it's going to be there. All I ask is that you guys get yourself in the room, show up, be present, and be a contributor to that space. So I'm going to go a couple takeaways. Hugo, you're one, and then I'll go Aaron, and then Brandy, you're going to bring us home and tell us what's on the menu for breakfast. So Hugo, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today.
What's up, Coach? Good morning to everybody. One key thought and one key takeaway was the grind should not come at the sacrifice of self. We are number one. So that one was a pretty good takeaway and thought that I'm dwelling on right now.
Good. I appreciate that, man. And this week, I'm probably going to do on Wednesday or Friday, I'm going to take you through this flow state presentation that I created because it like hit me. It hit me to think like, man, I hear burnout so much. I'm stressed out. Oh my God. And I see people and they drink, right? All this shit, bro, because they fucking sacrifice themselves to build this empire. What? It's not fair. It's not fair to themselves, not fair to their family. Aaron, Chris, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together.
My key takeaway was that that exercise we walked through the GCI and doing our stuff. I did go to the business planning, and it made me realize that shit, I'm already halfway at what I had said at the business planning. And then when I was running through the process while we were on the phone, and I was like, man, I could be at my goal by September 1st. So that's kind of where my mind is at right now. And I'm a little pumped. I'm kind of conflicted. Like I was a little soft on myself at business planning, and I maybe should have went a little harder, but that'll be for next year's business planning session to make myself a little more uncomfortable. But yeah, that was a good revelation.
Well, here's the challenge then. Whatever you put on your VTO from now until September 1st, whatever that revenue and profit is, I want you to increase it by 20%. Okay? And then tell me your new number when I see you next. Let's go, Brandy.
Right on.
One key thought, one key takeaway, and tell us what's on the menu for breakfast this morning. Let's roll.
Okay, we're having some buttermilk protein pancakes over here. A plug for Trader Joe's. We'll see if they're any good. I think the kids only picked them out because there's a cartoon character on the box. No shame. Hold on a second. And apparently I didn't do good on Mickey Mouse pancakes. So
do better, Mom. Come on.
I know. They requested Donald Duck and Goofy, and I was like, you guys are freaking crazy. Takeaway from all of that, besides eating breakfast, is build the person who's building the brand. Don't focus on the brand first, because then you lose the entire system. You lose your numbers, you lose everything. So build the person and the brand, not just the brand.
Oh, I absolutely love that. What a way to close out, you guys. I will see you tomorrow for team meeting, and or our in-person training at HQ, you guys. Beyond excited about what's happening. Build the person, not just the brand. I'm really with that statement. So you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your contributions. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make this week a week that matters and move the needle in your fucking business. Peace.